Hello, this is Steve, Dichroic Glassman. Well, we're going to have quite a bit of information in this series. We're going to get down to the base itself, the mirrors. The mirrors is really the impetus of what we're doing here, why we're here, and how it all works. It's really the mirror reflecting mirror that's creating this optical illusion, this thing we want to believe or thing we do see. What is it? We're trying to interpret it. Well, even here, look at all this mirror going on. Look at all this action. Can you actually tell me what it is real quick, what you're seeing? You'll be surprised. This came off of a previous set that I made, and we'll get down to it by the piece. So let's skip along here for a minute, and let's start talking about the tools that are going to be needed. The kind of words you want to get familiar with. The tools, the psyche, the whole thing. You're going to need a source of mirror, first of all. You're going to have to go to your local glass shop and see what a big piece of mirror would cost. We're talking about a mirror in this case that's 15 inches by probably, this is 18, that would be 23. We're talking 15 by 23, roughly, just to give you an idea. If you have some mirror in the garage, you might even have some mirror with some funky edges. What are we going to do? Let's talk about this for just a second. Let's set the camera up right here. If you've got a nice square edge you're working off of your bench, like you could see my thumb rolling along here, use your mirror, come to the edge, and I got a nylon 90-degree guide right here. I don't like these metal ones. I don't like these framing square type metal on glass. I don't like that feel. Worst case scenario, I'm going to get out my other nylon square. I like this one as well. But let's do this. Even if you've got some raggedy edges, where not necessarily raggedy, but they could be, or they're not in alignment, let's set that camera down again. Let's get an idea of what you can see here. I'm going to take my edge of my bench, or I can take my mirror, which is straight. I'm going to use that as my guide, and I'm just going to slide this. Sort of becomes a bearing at that point. Screw up. That's pretty funny, no pun intended, but these glass cutter right here, this is a Toyo, and it takes a TC10 cutting head on that. That's what I look for. I like any cutter with a TC10 head, and you can tell that number right here on the side of your cutter. And as always, keep it in kerosene or oil or something or other. So I can slide. Let's get my camera up there for a second. Should have had this on a tripod. See, I'm using my guide because there's a little ridge here, and it slides. That little ridge is catching the side of my... If it wasn't straight, I could come off of here, off of the edge of my particle board, just situate it on there. This becomes my straight edge. I turn it around, and then I line it up. You get the idea. So let me shut up. And my finger is up here. Okay. So what I want to do, what I'm going to tell you is, as you start looking around for mirror, keep everything. Keep the scraps. You'll be surprised how well you can use them. If you like the notion of, or you have some preconceived design idea and you need this and that, well, I like using a marking pen called a Sharpie. And let's just say, for instance, you need 1/2-inch strips. I measured 2 of them on here by eye. Let me get clear my deck. Now, one and 2. Okay, now, nifty enough, I've got 2 really great strips of mirror. Mirror, they're valuable. mirror's got a backing on it. It was coated, and then that silver chrome paint has a back on it. In this case, it's kind of a grayish color. So these are really good. If you're good at cutting, see they're standing up on their own quite easily, which might be very impactful. On a mirror, on a stage, that little piece will have great meaning. You may be needing a bunch of them. So let's talk about, again, the things you're going to be needing on hand, things you want to know about. You need yourself a square. If you're going to be cutting mirror and creating sets, or even you might feel this getting involved with, because this is easy stuff. You want to have some things around that you want to become comfortable with, the usual. I have a steel ruler, but it has a cork strip back. You might be able to find these at a local Michael's. I'm a stained glass artist, and I have access to these type of tools, but I'll tell you where you can get them as well. This is called a framing square, and you're going to get that at Home Depot, Lowe's type of operation. You could technically get some cork. You can probably find it on the internet and put it on here or on the back side and use it as an apparatus. The reason I put the cork on my tools is I have the ability as a single person to grab my glass, as we'll put it on here. I grab my glass. I have the glass's attention. It's not going to go anywhere because the cork grips, so it's a really good friend. You see, line it up, boom. If you're just doing things by eye, this is great. See, I'm holding it. So, cork is a really good friend. If I get enough calls for it, I'll start carrying cork. I'll put it in my store for people with straight edges. I use it on everything. So, don't worry about those strips. Cut them out. Create your measurement that you want. I just eyeballed that, and pretty accurate. Not 100%, pretty accurate. So, you want rulers. This is a nylon one. This is in the stained glass industry. I don't know where in the world I got it. But it's out of nylon. Really good. Good way to get mirror, as I was explaining in previous video. You want to keep these videos and watch them in order because we're kind of evolving. This is 6 mirror pieces, and you can get these kind of packets readily at a Home Depot, a Lowe's, your tile stores. There's 6 squares in here. They're all 12-inch. And I don't see a weight on it. They're 12-inch, and it gives you the 12 by 12. I don't see a weight. This is a really good way to go. In fact, this could be your cheapest avenue. The reason I say that is because these are obviously square foot. 12-inch by 12-inch equals 1 square foot. I don't know the price of this, but I'm going to say it was about $12. So $12 divided by 6 is $2. $2 a foot's really reasonable. They're precision cut. Literally, you can create your sets or a cube out of using those 6 pieces for $12. $15, you're not going to create a model for $15. So it's really wise to get 1 or 2 of these if you feel that you're going to really get into mirrors and dimensionality. So this is a really good deal. Get this as your backup for your cut-up pieces, and then get your big piece for your board. The big piece is going to tell you how big and what kind of set you're going to have. This is a rectangle. If yours is a square, ta-da. So another thing is you need glass cutters. And I like what's called a brass handle glass cutter. They're literally brass, as compared to the really lightweight acrylic. Now here's the psychology. I don't like this acrylic. When the ladies come by or somebody, they prefer that it's there for them. I like the brass because I feel like I have quite a bit of weight in my hand. It's very weighty, and it gives me this psychological idea that I'm pushing something, and I'm pushing its weight, and I like that. I like that relationship. It's heavier, and I feel like I got something of substance in my hand that benefits me. Pen wise, you're going to want to get Sharpies. I like thin and the thicker ones, and they rub off They smudge off really easy. I like using these lint-free rags. I found this recently at a Walgreens, and it's spray alcohol. Really works great. I mean, you can spray this, spritz it on, and then wipe it off really quick. I really like that idea. I'm keeping that top, putting it on a regular size bottle, or I'm going to start collecting these. Not that I need multiple spray bottles for alcohol. I'm going to use them for other substances. I use acetone in some particular case. I'm going to see if it'll evaporate through that. Probably not, because the alcohol didn't. So, ta-da. But acetone is even more evaporative than alcohol. So you're going to want to get some alcohol. Really cleans off the stuff really good. I like it better even than glass cleaner, and definitely better than the spray cans and yada yada. Find your own method, but I like these spray because it's quickie, fly in, fly out. And get yourself whatever it is that you like. These are those, well, this is a terry. There's some microfibers, just as long as it's something comfortable you're used to working with. Another thing you want to get used to is a hot glue gun. This is a hot glue gun, and some people have seen these. Most people know what these are, and they take these little glue sticks. You get it at Michael's, Craft Shop, Hobby Lobby, probably even at Lowe's. Yeah, of course, at Lowe's and stuff like that, because there are quite a bit of applications in real life. You could utilize one of these, or at least hold the item while you're because you're one-handed, nobody's there to help, and you're the only handed, and it's good helping hand in certain circumstances. The good thing about this for y'all is that we can change our sets. We're not obligated and committed, and that way just one drop will do you. It sounds like the old bro cream. A little dab will do you. You'd be surprised on how strong this is. Another thing is, must have double back tape. Absolutely, double back tape. And this is 3/4 inch, and I bought it in a roll. You can buy stuff all over the place. Literally at Dollar General type of stores, you can get double back tape in some manner. So double back tape, definitely. Of course, extra glue strips. Now, another thing too is tape. I've actually used a green tape in this case, and a mirror I'll introduce right here in the end. Sometimes you want to see if your idea bears any weight, any value to it, and simply taping it together gains you that knowledge. You've even used the tape and then cut a strip of double back tape, and that went on the wall. We'll discuss that further. But I'm just saying, well, let's just say it here again too. The double back tape, I used it as my inner ring, took my Dichroic, went up and down. Creates an effect and of impact. We'll look at it later. We got lots of videos. This could easily run into 50 plus videos because there's a lot of fun along the way, especially